everyone to a new video. Here we're going to be doing Skolas versus Eramis. And this is actually a very interesting fight because, there's normally two ways that I think the casual would see it as like, ha 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 ha, Skolas looks cooler, Skolas wins. And then there's like Eramis, who are like, ha ha ha, Eramis free Skolas, Eramis wins. But, it's not that simple. So here, we're gonna do two different types of archetypes. We're gonna do Eramis prior to the stasis, and prior to the stasis amp, and we'll do her versus Skolas in the story, who's much weaker than he was in the PoE. So here, already Skolas is kind of just superior in strength during this point, because we already know that Taniks, Shadow Thief Taniks, during House of Wolves, is weak. There's actually multiple things. Eramis, one of her greatest friends, Taniks or some shit like that. She is not, it's pretty obvious that she is definitely not at Taniks' level, Taniks in his prime. Definitely not at his level, but Taniks, who was helping out the House of Wolves, was still weaker than Skolas, because he was considered a greater threat by Varix and the Vanguard over Taniks. What Skolas was doing was definitely something more dangerous than whatever Taniks was doing, what he was hired for. And Taniks, he doesn't naturally work for someone. I think the Winter Cow. Yeah, for the Winter Cow, he genuinely fucking hated the dude because his ideals were just straight dog shit. And he actually wanted to release other things. He wanted to break out, Eramis and the other actual top tier Fallen, not fucking the Axor, the fucking Winter Archon. Taniks didn't like that shit. So Taniks obviously has a high regard for Skolas, and we already know Skolas is no fucking joke. Though whether Skolas at that point is stronger than Taniks is a strange one to talk about, because we're not really particularly sure how that exact scaling goes there, because it only took one Guardian to beat and capture Skolas, while it took a team of 3 to take down the Shadow Thief. But at the same time, this was Taniks with prep time practically. He had the time, he was prepared and had the time to wait for their Guardians to pull up to the catch. So we already know that he was definitely prepared and was sending tanks our way. Skolas straight us tangoed with us. And so, Taniks has had time to prepare, Skolas didn't. So personally, I believe that with how the evidence just stacks up, well, my bullshit evidence, I guess, is not really 100% sure, and how Eramis is 100% weaker than Taniks. I'm pretty sure Skolas was definitely held on a same tier as Taniks, if not stronger or slightly weaker than him, which is still stronger than Eramis. Because of what we're about to go to in the next part of this fight, and this is PoE. So this is after captured after being captured Skolas versus Eramis with Stasis. Now here's the distinction: Stasis does not provide an amp at all. And I think I can confidently say that, because something about Stasis, it's it doesn't really amp the user the same way Siva does, which is why Eramis was trying to retrieve the Outbreak Prime, the Outbreak Perfected, to reobtain the power of Siva, because that's an actual amp. Stasis is not an amp. That's a factor. And Skolas in the PoE, same case can be made that the Guardian got stronger, but Skolas in PoE needed the power of 3 Guardians to take down, while while he was practically being set up to lose by Barracks by giving us the advantage. Like, that's something. Other than, like, the mines, but still, Skolas had some fucking cheese. And, like, Eramis was beaten by one fucking plot armored guardian. And, sure, you can say that, like, we got stronger by then, but I'm pretty sure, I'm not 100% sure, but, like, Guardians don't really have the, like, the star level resistance that, because they're still getting obliterated by a single Nova Bomb. So, like, the three Guardians that defeated Skolas would still confidently, most of the time, beat the single Guardian that beat Eramis, which had the plot armor. So, like, that isn't really, like, a true factor there. And, like, the amp that Eramis got from Stasis is literally non-existent. Like, that's already a fact. Like, it even turns on her, for fuck's sakes. And, like, she even talked... And another thing is that, like, Skolas has the better tech at that point. Like, like, Eramis needs to, like, obviously has this splinter, fucking dark splinter to use Stasis. Like, Skolas can destroy that arm. That's possible. Second, Skolas is far more durable than Eramis by an absolute mile. Skolas in the PoE was massively amped and can tank whole ass Nova Bombs. Whether it's not as strong as the Cataclysm Nova Bomb, but it's still a Nova Bomb nonetheless. Because another fact that plays into this is that even if you say that Eramis could, like, tank a singular Cataclysm Nova Bomb, which, you know, could be many times stronger than, like, the ones we had in D1 that, since we didn't have the Cataclysm. Well, Skolas has this thing known as the Servitor Bonds. He has a unique bond with his servitors that are invisible, by the way. With this Servitor Bond, he's able to reduce his damage taken down to literal minimum, which includes the Nova Bomb. So he's able to straight up negate these attacks. He's able to straight up take not even over 100 damage from a Nova Bomb. And how does it play? Is this the fact that this Servitor... And we already know Servitor Bonds are, like, even in D2, like, they're literally even in D1, D2, they're granting them invincibility and vulnerability to damage. Skolas but they have to be within a short distance of each other. Skolas's servitors are can be at a massive, like, at a great distance and still grant him a similar effect. Not complete invincibility, but enough to reduce most damage to a crawl. So, like, Skolas is obviously amped with that. And, like with that being said, like, Skolas, like, has the better durability with his Servitor Bond, as well as it's also, and it's not really 100% sure if it can work on Eramis, but Skolas can taint the light of Guardians, which instantly kills them. And whether that affects Eramis or anything of the darkness is strange. If it does affect her, then yeah, she loses. Then she's not winning at all. No chance. Say it doesn't affect her, well, he doesn't really need it. Because here's another thing I'm also going to talk about. Eramis is weaker. You know how I said Eramis is weaker than Tanix and how she got 0 amp, right? Yes, so that still applies here. Tanix, upon being revived in a Deepstone Crypt in his, like, crippled state, in this crippled state, is weaker than the Exo Fallen Amp's Atrax, but Tanix is still stronger than Eramis, Kritis, Phylax, and, the Technocrat, still stronger than all 4 of them. And that's while being nerfed and not even at his prime during the House of Wolves or the Siva Crisis. So already Skolas is Skolas, like, in PoE, is easily leagues above Shadow Thief, above Tanix at his prime, especially with the Servitor Bonds. So, like, even if you take away the Servitor Bonds, like Skolas is still stronger than Eramis, because he's strong. Because if a weakened and, like, nerfed version of Tanix in the Deepstone Crypt is stronger than all 4 of them, then, like, Skolas is that 100% stronger than DSC Tanix prior to Abomination upon being revived. So, like, Also, he has a Scorch Cannon. Eramis, I actually forgot what gun she had, but all I know is it was not a Scorch Cannon, so there's that advantage. Like, and also when it comes to freezing, her stasis, I didn't even get to talk about this, but her stasis isn't going to do too much to Skolas. Because, you know, Skolas, like, 100% can break out. Like, that's something. Guardians break out of stasis like, Guardians break out of stasis easily. Skolas can, and we already know that enemies that are so massive literally only get slowed down by stasis. So she can freeze Tannic, so he's not going to put him in a dead stop. Like, he's going to be moving. And that's a factor. We haven't talked about, like, how fast they are. I don't think it really matters how fast they are. They both literally teleport, so they're both literally reacting. Same speed, same everything. This Skolas has the better strength, as well as the fact that Skolas has 4 arms instead of 3 arms and a mechanical arm, which is easily weaker than an actual fleshy arm. Guaranteed, I can guarantee you that. That arm is practically just made for her to activate her stasis. So like Skolas is like has the advantage. Not only is he, I'm pretty sure he's slightly larger and constantly pumping ether into his dong, but he has the better weapon. He has an advantage with servitor bonds, and we already know Eramis is not using servitor bonds. She literally destroyed a servitor out of a flex, being like, yeah, fuck the machine. So like Skolas is like utterly cracked. Being able to fuck with and just like, and actually there's actually a great similarity between the two. They both rallied all the houses, though Skolas was able to rally the 4 houses that were like that were still like pretty hefty, where Eramis kind of just like, you know, rallied like afraid, scared fallen, scared Alinsky, you know, in their dying houses. So they're able to force them to join the House of Darkness because it's their only salvation. So like there's that, and then like they both fucked with the Vex, but like speaking of which, Skolas has splicers on this, which is pretty funny. Speaking of which, like House of Wolves versus House of Darkness, House of Wolves is winning that one. They got Tannics on this because they both got Tannics. Is they got a nerfed version of Tannics, you know. Skolas should take this battle. Like, he has more like things on him than Eramis has on her. Like, Eramis is getting mopped by 1 Guardian. Skolas has to tango with 3. Like 3 who are given an advantage to kill him. Like this. Like Skolas is no joke. Like, the Skolas downplay is insane. Like, he's a lot stronger than you think he really is. Like, he's definitely stronger than Eramis. Like, he's 100% stronger than debatable whether he's stronger than Civics, but like Civics is more like a tech master, not really a tank, because he kind of got fucked. But I think we could state confidently that like Skolas could maybe beat Civics, because Civics has this shield which is only breakable via the Izanagi's burden. Whether it's a shield that's able to withstand a lot of like kinetic power, or if it's just a blatantly invincible shield, because there are shields in Destiny, but I think only the Vex are the only ones who possess literal shields, and the Hive Knights that possess literal shields that just negate all damage. Because, you know, Argos blocking, you know, the Leviathan. And, like, it's, like, I'm fucking stuttering. Yeah, like, Eramis, you know, she's not weak by any means. I'm not saying she is, but she's definitely not Skolas. Like, she's not beating Skolas. And, like, she's not beating Civics. She's not beating Tannics. She's not beating any of them. They are stronger than her. Like, that is a blatant fact. I'm confident they are. Like Civics and Tannics 100% stronger. Skolas should be 100% stronger because he is literally relative, if not stronger than Tannics. Especially when Eramis is like weaker than by like a fucking nerfed version of Tannics in the Deepstone Crypt. So like Eramis should lose this fight. Like Skolas should take this fight. He should take this fight. He has the advantage. They're the same speed, same reaction. Skolas is larger, so he should have more physical strength, as you know, he's more amped by ether. And Stasis isn't really an amp. There's really no factor that shows that it really made them any stronger. They're kind of just, you know, they're still not really that like insane, you know. Like Eramis should lose this fight like consistently. Like, you know, maybe she could steal a win, but like again, she literally has to get past Skolas to just shatter his servitor, which is not gonna happen when he's gonna be literally teleporting and blocking her from doing so. Because we already know that in the Prison of Elders, Skolas, you know, if the enemy had better AI, they'd be protecting their servitors more. But like Eramis abandoned the machine. Skolas still bonded with it. So Skolas is taking this dub. Like, yeah. If you guys enjoyed the haha funny video, like and subscribe. Only you know, I've noticed that 90% of you view my videos because, you know, since I'm like Dream, since, you know, I'm as popular as Dream, you know, only like 90% of you are subscribed to my channel, who are watching me are subscribed. So you should like hit that subscribe button and shit. It's really cool if you like these videos. You know, please, I beg you, please, I'm desperate. All right, see you guys next time.